All right. Here we go. Episode 2 of Wavyshi podcast. We're back with Jack Moroknek, my boy. How you doing?
What up?
Yes, sir. This is my friend who is committed to Butler, as you can see on
Yes,
his
sir. Yes, sir.
on his shirt right there. So we're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk a little bit about just COVID stuff that I wanted to talk about, stuff being lifted, how life is gonna go back, and then just how he wants his life to go about after high school and everything. So we'll just get started with baseball. Do you want to go ahead and talk about how you kind of got started and all that?
Yeah, for sure. So in my family, you know, my dad was a big baseball guy, big basketball guy in high school. You know, he was kind of like that little jock dude.
Yes, sir.
Look, he was like 6'3", he was like the big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on to play baseball in college, a little college called Hartwick in New York.
Where's that at? New York? All right.
Yeah, New York. He grew up in New York. And so he was just like, he pushed like me and my brother both like at least play baseball in like elementary school, like at least some sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I guess I took it better than my brother. My brother started to play golf, which I know you play golf.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah,
you like
talk
that.
about that.
And so like I found out like myself, like, okay, I know I'm like better than other kids. So I want to pursue this as something I could actually like do in college or like bet more on in life, like pros maybe.
Yeah.
Like, so like during elementary school, middle school, I was like, you know, I want to be a pro baseball player. And like that's how I really got started. Like, and then after like my dad taught me the basics, he was like, you know, sure, do your stuff. Like, I know you got this now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like that. Yeah.
So I guess what I wanted to say is you also emailed Butler your freshman year of high school. That's like, you knew that was your goal. So you put your head down and you actually did it. Just want to first off say congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll put up
Thank
his
you.
photo right here of his signing day. Yeah, that you just posted. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna put the hat on also. Yeah, so how, like, you put your mind to something, how was it that you like knew you wanted to go to Butler, and how did that like kind of change your ways?
So the Butler story starts when I'm like 6. So they have this Butler basketball camp every year. Me and my friends from lunch always went to it. And this was like 2010 and 2011 when Butler went back to back national championship. So we were like hyped we were there. It was like going to Duke pretty much, that right there. So that started my love for Butler. And like I always love going to games. I love going to Hinkle. I just love the atmosphere of it. And like going to Rebuff, it's really like Rebuff. It's like really small for a high school and a college. Like it's like small. So for the recruiting process, like I emailed, like Butler was the first place I emailed. Because I'm like, yeah, if I want to go my dream, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I emailed them freshman year. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the greatest. Like I wasn't doing baseball player freshman year like other people are. Like our friend Nikamich. Like he's a doing baseball player freshman year. So I really didn't have a shot. They didn't even email me back at that time. So I kind of just put my head down. Like I was, okay guys, I'm 6'3" now. I was 5'6" then freshman year. So
that's probably what I was like freshman year too.
I wasn't a college body at all. So I grinded. Like I had a swing that was good enough. Like I had the skills. I wasn't a physical specimen yet like I am right now, honestly. And so junior year, this was like before COVID, I was working so hard, like 6 days a week, like 3 to 4 hours lifting, throwing, hitting, doing anything I could. Like, and going into that junior season, I was thinking, yo, this is my year. I'm gonna show Butler. I'm gonna show all these colleges, like, this is why I deserve to be at your school.
Yeah.
COVID hits. I was bummed. I was devastated.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, this is where I'm gonna go to Butler. This is how I'm gonna get to Butler.
Showing off, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm gonna show like I'm better than the recruits right now. They want me. And when that hit, I was pissed. Like I just didn't do anything for like a couple months. Not gonna lie, I was pissed. But then I got motivated, like, listen, you don't have school right now pretty much. They weren't really giving us work. Let's put my head down, let's work. So I set up a tee with a net in my garage.
Yeah.
Hit there for probably 2 hours every single day.
Every day.
Just working on my shit. Videotaping. Just getting my swing down.
Yeah.
I just started emailing every single college I could. And I got responses. They knew I was there now. And like I had other schools, like they didn't offer me Indiana State, Ball State, IU, Purdue.
So you want to stay local?
I definitely wanted to stay local. Miami of Ohio I wanted to go to.
All right.
Niagara was the first school. Like this was like sophomore year. They're not really good, which is a nice little school in New York. I was like, yeah, my dad went there maybe, but I wasn't about it. So back to the junior year, like when Butler responded, I was hype. Like I was really, really happy. So we set up a couple phone calls, like just to talk about life. Like the first two phone calls weren't about baseball at all. It was just like, how am I as a person? Because Butler just doesn't care about like who you are on the field. They want good people off the field, pretty much. So
respectable, yeah.
After they learn like I'm a good kid and everything, we go over my swing. Like we go over like if I'm actually a good baseball player, and I send them video, and they have a meeting one weekend after we talk, right? And all the coaches are like, yo, this kid's nice. Let's offer this kid. I offered June 11th. I committed June 13th.
Yeah, no,
it was that simple for me.
I knew as soon as, like, if it were to happen, I knew you were going to go there. A dream, everything. But you kind of did have, like, this whole, like, comeback season type of mentality going into junior year. I know that sucked for you, COVID and all of that. Yeah. I remember you and Max Cookerly, our friend who goes to Brebeuf, you guys were talking how you wanted to beat Carmel. And I know that you got a game coming up. When's that?
March 29th, man.
March 29th.
March 29th, 6 o'clock. I honestly do not care about school from now until then. It is March 29th, Carmel. I am gonna, like, I want to beat them. We haven't beat Carmel yet, baseball wise.
Yeah, and you wanna.
And I need it. I need it before I leave. I just need it.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know me, I went to Carmel Middle School, so it's kind of a personal thing.
Do you know people who are on the team?
For sure. Like Cole Belville, our guy, on our basketball team. Mm-hmm. He might pitch first. Ooh. Another guy, like really close friend of mine since third grade.
Where's he going, by the way?
He doesn't know yet. He might go to DePaul. Oh, okay. My other friend, he's going to Hope College. It's a good Division III school. I'm in Michigan. I wouldn't say friend, but like he's a cool guy. I know him. JD Rogers, he's really good. He's center fielder going to Vanderbilt. If y'all know anything about baseball, Vanderbilt #1 in the country. It's like Duke for basketball, pretty much, except for like this year.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned him for the viewers. Andrew Ducanich.
Yeah,
he's going to Vanderbilt too, and he goes to Brebeuf, so he's on his team.
Yeah, he's a big deal. He is pitching first game. He's our guy.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype. But again, about that whole comeback season, I remember you were telling me you were listening to like a lot of Eminem and music while you were like working out. Yeah. That was like comeback season. How has like music kind of changed or helped you get to your goal?
Okay, so like Eminem and NF were the two biggest. They're like, cause they're motivational dudes. They're like, you know what? I don't care what you think. I'm gonna beat you. I do not care.
Yeah.
And so you kind of know, like, there was a breakup, like a little bit. It was still in my system a little bit.
Yeah.
And
bad breakup.
Like I had a little pain in me still. So I was just like, listen, I'm not letting anyone beat me. Mm-hmm. That's what drive me junior year. Like I see those kids, like I can see recruit lists for Butler and other schools. Yeah. I'm like, I know I'm better than you, but I'm gonna prove it. That's all I wanted to do.
Mentality.
That's all I wanted to do junior year.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's what pushed me just to become better and just pretty much try to destroy everyone in my path.
Yeah, I really like that mentality. That mentality that you have. If you apply that to other things in good ways, yeah, that could take you far.
Yeah.
With that, I know that you really want to do like merchandising, just like your dad. We'll talk about your dad later.
Yeah.
Tell me. Well, actually, go ahead. Tell me how like your dad influenced you to want to do this. And like what you want to do.
Yeah, so like as a young kid, like it's really fun to just go to sporting events and stuff. Yeah. Like just going to a Pacers game or a Colts game, like it's cool. So like I started to realize like going to a Colts game, I got to sit in a suite. Like, and I was like, my friends would get to do this. Like when I took my friends, like, well, this is like really cool. I'm like, this is like a normal game for me. Like I don't know what you're talking about. And so like I started asking my dad like these questions, like, what do you do? Like why do I get to do this? So one day we went to his office. He just showed me what he does, and you just can go around seeing shirts for the Colts, Pacers, like NFL teams, Titans, Vikings, NHRA, which is like pro drag racing. He did all of that. Pro bull riding, he does all that.
So just explain to them, he takes these, like, he makes the shirts.
Okay, so my dad does sports merchandising, and so he has a team that comes up with different like shirt designs and stuff for sports teams that he gets licensings for by talking to like the teams and stuff. And he makes shirts. He makes styles, I guess. Tank tops, hoodies, hats. He makes the designs.
He makes the designs. Yeah, that's cool.
He has a whole division for it. Okay. Yeah. So they make the designs. They print them in there. they ship them out to everywhere in the country.
Dang. Yeah, because, well, I also remember last Super Bowl, not this one, the one with the Chiefs Niners. We went to your place, but your dad wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was at the Super Bowl. What was he doing? He was like,
he does the merchandise for the Super Bowl. Like, he does all the shirts. So, like, guys, like, you know how they have to make, like, both sets for, like, Super Bowl champions and stuff? It's so cool to see that. Like, I remember the 49ers Ravens played, the Ravens won.
Yeah.
There were so many just 49ers Super Bowl championship shirts getting cut up. So, like,
that were they your dad's that they printed?
Yeah, it was my dad's. They were in my dad's office. So, like, my dad, like, I don't like saying it. He's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean, but I think that that's a good thing to strive for. I don't think you want to.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, as like people might say it's like greedy and stuff. I mean, you also have to have your own goals. If you want to live that life, you got to do it. And I like that ambition about Butler, baseball, all that stuff. That stuff and what you want to do and the connections you already have, like,
yeah, it's insane.
Big stuff.
And like with those connections, my brother did an internship with the Pacers last year. He's doing with the Colts this year.
Dang. Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna try to do that because for Butler, the Butler business program, I have to have 2 internships before I graduate. So I'm gonna try to do the Indians and someone.
Indians. Okay.
Indianapolis Indians because they're a baseball team.
Yeah.
And with that greedy part you said, like, my dad pushed us not to have that.
Oh yeah. No.
Like he doesn't buy anything for us. Like, if we wanted something, he's like, no.
Yeah, no, and I wasn't calling you greedy.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I
saying,
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
People like that. People think it's bad, but if it's used in the right way, it can push them more, I think.
For sure.
Moving on, your dad being a big deal, Nelk. He's worked with Nelk.
yeah.
Or like kinda.
So
what's up with that?
So I'm gonna guess everyone watching right now, they know Nelk. They're huge. They're huge right now.
They're like for people who don't know.
Which I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah. They're like pranksters who have like 7 million views, and they're kind of making their own like MTV type thing, and they're gonna like do all that sort of stuff.
For sure.
And it's gonna be competing with like Netflix and all that. That's not in the works now, but they're like doing basically best streetwear branding right now, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, go ahead.
They make merch like for you, like they're YouTubers, but they make merch that's like up there with like Nike, I would say, honestly.
Yeah, quality's good.
Yeah. Okay. And with my dad with Full Send, I thought this was sick.
Yeah.
Like he just texted me, he's like, hey, like this is me and my brother. He's like, hey, do you guys know what Full Send is?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he said, we might be making an e-commerce site. E-commerce is like the website where you buy like stuff off of Nike.com.
Yeah. So he did like the coding and stuff for it?
No. So there was one episode on Nelk, they were on Fight Island.
Yeah.
Remember
okay, yeah, UFC.
You know the banana whiskey they were drinking?
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they wanted to put out a website for that. And promote
the Howler Head thing?
I believe so.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a website for that.
Yeah.
So
I think that was Dana White's, and he was working with Nelk and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was working with Dana White in UFC.
My dad does UFC stuff.
Dang.
So that's
probably how.
That's probably why it happened. So I don't know if it's happening on, like, I don't know for sure, but it's in the works, I think, of making an e-commerce site with Full Send and Nelk and Dana White of trying to sell their whiskey. So they'll like have my dad has a division to make websites and e-commerce.
Okay.
And so they'll make designs, they'll code it and stuff, and then they'll send it to him and say like it's okay and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's hype. So because he's not going to be distributing the whiskey, is he? He's not dealing with that.
I do not believe. I think he's just making the site.
Yeah.
And I think he might just be controlling the sales, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's sick. I just been watching him, and when you text me about that, I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Aside from that, your dad also worked and was talking and in contact with Jerry Jones, not Kevin Hart, Ezekiel Elliott, LeBron James. Like, what's up with that?
So it was Ohio State when Ohio State.
It was going to the national championship.
They were going to the national championship after they beat Clemson, right?
Oh yeah.
They beat Clemson to get there. So obviously LeBron from Akron, second best player of all time. Debate me on it. I don't care. And then Ezekiel Elliott, he went to Ohio State, obviously. And yeah, Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys. So my dad made the shirts that say Ohio State, like, semifinalist champions or whatever. So and also my dad's company does stuff for the Cowboys. So has a connection there. And so
I was just driving up.
Yeah. So my dad reached out to Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, because they've talked before. Like, I've looked through their text. They just text about merchandise and stuff. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Those connections.
like he texted Jerry Jones, he's like, hey, do you think you can get Ezekiel Elliott to wear this shirt while he's walking into the game? And he did the same thing with LeBron's people. Wow. Like he would just want to push out those shirts because he knew if he get on LeBron and Ezekiel, the two arguably the biggest stars in those sports, he's gonna sell a lot more shirts. So it was a great marketing scheme by him.
Hell yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah. It was sick to find out about it, obviously.
Oh yeah. Moving on to sports, I know that you're a big Colts, Pacers, Indiana type of fan.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz just went to the Colts. Your thoughts on that?
Okay, so me personally, I'm not the biggest Carson Wentz fan in the world, but I do think with Frank Reich, he can be great, and the fact that we only gave up a second-round pick and a third-round pick, that's huge, because that's basically nothing for us.
But what's your opinion on just developing Brissett? Or do you think Brissett wouldn't have gotten there?
I think Brissett's too old. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if he's older than Carson Wentz or not. I just don't think Jacoby's the guy.
Yeah.
Because in this point in the NFL, you need a dude. I think we've seen that. Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, those are the guys that were in the conference championships. Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. Like, those are the guys you need. Like, run offenses just don't win anymore. Like, the Titans, they're good. They just won't win a Super Bowl, though. So I think we needed Carson Wentz. If he balls out this year, I'm going to be lit. If he doesn't, I'm going to be like, you know what? I didn't think he was going to do well.
Well, I mean, I think another whole thing about it is with Carson Wentz didn't have a good line in Philadelphia, right? I'm not super knowledgeable about football, but I think I've heard this stuff, and the Colts have a pretty good line, right? I mean,
the Colts line, arguably the best in the NFL. A lot of people, they know Quentin Nelson. He's Mr. Pancake. He's the best offensive lineman in the league right now. It's only his third year, and I think I saw something. His PFF rating or whatever, I don't know, highest of all time in the first 3 years of your career.
Dang, that's insane.
So we have a really solid. We have Ryan Kelly still. Mm-hmm. We have other dudes. We just lost Anthony Costanzo, which was like a centerpiece of the line. But I think we could get one in the draft, or Orlando Brown from the Ravens. He wants out. I think we could get him. But honestly, if we get Carson Wentz protection, it's going to be lit. Because we have a run offense. Jonathan Taylor's a beast.
Yeah, you got Jonathan Taylor and
Nyheim Hines.
Yeah, Nyheim Hines.
Marlon Mack might be back. He's a free agent. We don't know yet.
So who do you think, because those are both young kids, those running backs.
Yeah, they're dudes.
The Colts are going to they're going to have to get rid of one. Probably because of money in some way. Who do you think that they're going to keep? Or do you think that they're going to find a way to keep both?
With Hines and Taylor?
Yeah.
I think they can keep both. I think they're going to have to get rid of Mack. I don't think they're going to re-sign Marlon Mack this year. But
what position is he?
Marlon Mack, running back.
Okay.
Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines were the three.
So then it would just be two.
Nyheim Hines, Jonathan Taylor, they're going to be the core for, I would say, at least 7 years. If neither of them get injured, and they're going to ball out.
If Carson Wentz, because you guys have T.Y. Hilton, and then who's your other running back? The
wide receivers, man?
Wide receiver.
We got T.Y. Hilton, Paris Campbell, Zach Pascal.
There's a new guy.
And Michael Pittman.
Yeah, Michael
Pittman, he's a dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Michael Pittman and Kiana. You guys are dope on YouTube.
Yeah, they post YouTube. Yeah, I seen him on YouTube, so that's kind of how I knew about him, and he does stuff with Chase Claypool, so I thought that was cool. And T.Y. Hilton's kind of taking him under his wing.
Yeah, for sure. I hope the Colts sign T.Y. back. You know, it'd be dope to have him. I know he's not the best, but he's a veteran. We need him.
Yeah, and I think you just have to have a solid wide receiver core, and he's a good center.
I like that. I just think we need someone old. Yeah. He's one of two dudes on the entire team that's over 32.
Yeah, and I mean, with Vinatieri out now, you need that veteran stuff, especially if you want to go far. You had Phillip Rivers too, but he wasn't able to.
Hey, shout out Hot Rod though, Rodrigo Blankenship. He's a beast. I like him over Vinatieri, I'm not going to lie.
I'm kind of happy that Wentz didn't go to the Bears. I'm a Bears fan, so
You trusted Mitch?
I say I do. I say I do because that's all we have. So we just got to go.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, do you think you guys are going to sign back A-Rob?
I think he's gone. And I think...
Because that could be a big pickup for the Colts.
Yeah, okay, that. And, is it dark?
It just got way darker,
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna fix this. But anyways, okay, whatever. What were we talking? Oh yeah, okay. So the Bears, he's posting stuff on his Instagram all the time about stuff like how he's the best catching and how he has all these catches, no missed catches. I think he's just trying to get his name out there.
You think he's trying to like build his resume and stuff for this free agency?
He does not want to stay in Chicago at all. But I think our defense is going to stay. Akeem Hicks, I got a jersey of his. Khalil Mack, amazing defensive line.
He's looking. Khalil Mack he's gonna like burn it down a little bit like last 2 years.
Yeah.
But I think he's still a beast. He's a beast.
He is a beast. I think he's just not getting the name that he would have gotten if he was like on the Bucks, let's say, or the Chiefs, or
like the Rams
like
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about football now. California, they just lifted the ban for playing college football, and they're playing it now in the winter. But of course, it's like nice out there.
Oh, so is like Stanford about to play in like UCLA and stuff right now?
Well, no, like high school.
Oh,
so, like,
high school.
Yeah,
okay.
all my friends are hyped back at home. Nick, I know you're watching. He's trying to play him, Alton, all those guys, and they're all super hyped about it. I think this whole transition going back into COVID, especially out there, going into like the real world, it's gonna be weird for them because they're like still super like compared to Indiana, they're still super like strict and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see, but I'm just kind of hyped for them to come back. What are your thoughts on that?
For sure, like if they do it safely, I think it could be dope. Like I know we had our season, like our Indiana football, we had our season.
Yeah, Buff.
It went over pretty well. Like our team on Buff, we had to close down for like 2 weeks.
True.
But positive cases. But I didn't hear anything like a lot of other schools having to close down and stuff.
No, I didn't either.
So I think if it's put the right way, I think it's giving the seniors of every senior football player and that they give them their shot to have their one last year.
I know.
I think just giving the fans what they want, honestly, because I think a lot like the senior. I'm not gonna lie, class 2021 has it worse than 2020. I'm gonna say that.
I think that too. Yeah, because it's just stretching on, and there's so much more uncertainty. Where like last year, it was just we knew we were out.
Yeah, and I think the class 2021 needs a little bit of happiness, guys. Like we haven't had a lot of stuff to be happy about in the last like year.
Yeah, and I'm honestly gonna bring this up. It's causing a ton of hatred between us. I don't care who's gonna see this. The whole fighting in we have a class group chat on GroupMe.
Oh my god,
there was
dude.
a nasty fight about all this stuff, and I know it's about a sensitive topic about COVID, but in these like times where it's like we're dealing with all this like crazy stuff, I don't understand why everybody's being like so like hard on each other.
And guys, the argument was about like if we should all go back in person or not. And like it was a good argument for like a little bit, like 5 minutes. But then people like started bringing in politics and stuff, like in race, like BLM. Like there was we didn't need that in there at that point. Like
to talk about that.
Yeah,
stuff.
we were having a healthy argument like why we shouldn't. And I just think it gets way out of hand. I think there is like just so much hate that people have right now because it's been built up about frustration not being able to what they want to do for the last like year.
Yeah.
And I just think it's all blowing over on each other and it's not okay.
Yeah, and the whole BLM thing, that kind of came up because there were some people in our class, if I'm not mistaken, who were like kind of thinking that not typical, but the white crowd wasn't listening to the minority crowds and hearing what they wanted to hear. I don't know. It was. I think we just all need to realize that we're all trying to get our point of views across in a healthy way and get something figured out. I didn't think it had anything to do with race, honestly, in the group me. But honestly, I wasn't paying attention that much to know. Anyways, we don't want to end on too bad of a bad note, but we just want to say stay positive.
Always, boys.
Good stuff, man. Amazing podcast.
Yes, sir.
Amazing episode 2. Come back for episode 3 next week. It's going to be good. So, yeah, keep it wavy.
Yes, sir. Always.
Deuces.
See you, boys.
Woo!